So thank you very much, Professor Jerry Schultz. Whenever I see him, he's not only an inspiration, but I call him, he's the genetics guru. So it's very easy for me to remember that Jerry and guru, right? So there's a lot of common. So in case you didn't know that, right? I mean, Jerry and guru, right? So there's.
I'm always learning.
Yeah. So so I can informally or formally. Some of you were in my session, just 2 sessions this morning, but we really thank you, Jerry, for your contribution, long-term contribution to India. You really inspired a lot of people, and we're reaping the benefits of it in the United States. And I'll tell you how indirectly you've helped us by stimulating work in the Indian labs and inspiring a lot of people here who are coming to do wonderful things. Okay, so let me just begin. So first of all, thank you very much for joining me. This is a great pleasure to be here, as always. And I like to put this up as this is sort of a disclaimer. Moving on, so National Eye Institute. I said I'll just give a quick introduction to what we do. So it is it's part of our Ministry of Health, which is we call Department of Health and Human Services, and part of NIH, which is a umbrella organization consisting of 27 institutes with a very, very, very large budget of something like $42 billion a year. NEI gets about 820 million a year. This year it's about 825 million. But what it does, I want you to understand that what we do in terms of policy and work and planning, and as well as the research programs that is very investigator initiated. That sets the agenda for research, not only just in the United States, but all over the world. So clearly the organization makes a global impact. Meetings such as this, a lot of ideas that began and originated through the efforts that really helps and improves the quality of life for all ages, not just in the US, but all around the world. Okay, so this is the mission. And so what's our view of international research? So we truly believe that global science is interconnected, and I'm here. So we are very actively involved in global research. We're seeking scientific opportunities, we're doing shared priorities, shared research, unique international opportunities, and so on. And we support, as you know, we are paid by the taxpayer. We, Max, Charles, Jerry, these are our taxpayers, and we work for them. So clearly our first agenda is supporting our domestic grantees to expand and extend their international collaboration. So I'm here to support them. So, and then in terms of forming partnership, we are interested in working with the scientists, the governments, the NGOs, companies, anyone and everyone who really supports the global research. And what it does is that it helps and expands our capability, helps our research dollars, and the answers can come from anywhere. So, but the bottom line is that our grants are not restricted to only our U.S. grantees. I always like to share that our grants are open to anyone, everyone who has a good idea. Okay, so I'm not going to go through this. I'm going to leave this to the other researchers, but essentially you see this, the disease gene maps for system biology, and NEI, NIH has really collectively, or NEI dollars which were administered by, have played very important role in everything what you see up here, in many pathways, in discovering the genes that causing various retinal dystrophies, the determination of phenotypes, and we continue our work. So that's our commitment. There's a story of this that Lancelot, that essentially the dog, LCA dog, which essentially created a whole a sequence of event and appearing before the Congress. Everyone was very excited many years ago, and what it has led to, lots of good programs and exciting programs. One of the program I always highlight is where India plays very important role, and we just had a session, some of you were there. It's called Global Eye Genetics Consortium, GEGC, and that's the website for it. The idea was conceived, we had brought, pretty much the global experts, several from India, who worked with us in developing, and so they all basically presented their views, and we came up with these ideas that how do we put everything together with and bring the worldwide research on on one single platform. So that led to the development of Asian Eye Genetics Consortium at a SARC meeting in Colombo, in a little cafe outside Colombo, very modest beginning. Dr. S. Natarajan, who's just your immediate past president, myself, Dr. Takeshi Iwata, who is the current president. So I became the very first president to really launch, but it was a team effort, and it still continues to be team effort. Paul Baird, who is the current vice president, co-chaired the GEGC session just before this. So we, NEI, got into collaboration with, we signed an agreement, as you see the picture, Paul Sieving, who is the director, who was the director of NEI at that time. He recently stepped down. So we signed an agreement that led to Asian Eye Genetics Consortium, launched at Arvo in 2014. But about a year and a half ago, we launched. There was so much of interest from all over the world, so we renamed it as a GEGC, Global Eye Genetics Consortium. So I encourage all of you to go on this. Membership is free. That really gives a lot of information. We work with a number of experts, more than 30 excuse me, country members, and then several hundred individual members. And these are the goals: the sharing genetic information for rapidly isolating common disease variants, establishing system for accurate diagnosis and disease grouping, establishing system for cost-effective genetic analysis, developing genotype-phenotype databases, and supporting and fostering. This is really very important point, that collaboration among the scientists interested in eye genetics. This is what this session is all about. So, and then obviously, how does the mechanics of it to collaborate with other international regional organizations. So we really come down to even regional organizations, countrywide organizations who we work very close to, because we believe there are clearly unique patient populations that we can all learn from. And the answer to diabetes and diabetic retinopathy and many diseases will come very likely from these unique patient populations that are either not showing the sign. I was we did the second GEGC symposium at Shroff Hospital in Delhi just last Friday, and that was organized by Dr. Umang Mathur, Shalja Tibrewal. And there was a lot of discussion on that, and I was told that there's a patient population that they have had 3 generations of diabetes, not showing any sign of diabetic retinopathy. Wouldn't you like to know what the mechanism is? Wouldn't you? I mean, think about this multi-billion-dollar opportunity right in that population somewhere in Rajasthan. So I think there are similar things that can happen from any part of the world from unique patient population. So and you see that those books there. So we just completed 3rd volume. This is Advances in Vision Research, which I have had the pleasure of being the chief editor of that. But this is a team effort. This is GEGC book. Several of you sitting here, Professor Namrata Sharma, Professor Radhika Tandon, they have been pioneers in working with us from day one. They've contributed to this program, and we continue to work with your leaders here. And I thank for their continued support in everything what we do. All India Institute of Medical Sciences is a very strong collaborator where they work. Okay, so some of the things that may really of benefit to you, and that's what Dr. Schultz and I talked about a couple nights ago here, is this is a sort of a nutshell summary of NEI international program that could be very useful. There's a US-Indo program, which is we have a government-to-government relationship. It is a parallel funded program. That means US and Indian scientists, they work together, they write grant proposal, and then we put in money and Government of India puts in money. And it has had its ups and downs, but who doesn't? And if you look at clearly that we are working with two big, large government bureaucracies, but we have managed to actually produce some very high quality projects, programs, data, and so on. So that program is it's a valid program. Continually, we are working on this. Just 2 days ago, I had a meeting with the senior leadership of Government of India, and they sat with me in a small room and they said they are extremely, very committed to supporting you, the Indian PI, Indian investigators. So, and they said that to convey this message to you, that although their representatives are not here, but they have authorized me to convey this message to you that your Government of India remains very committed, and we in the United States, we are very committed as well. So, which is all great news. But take a look at these two fellowships, and interestingly, these are new fellowships which started in my office during my time. One is that International Genomics Fellowship, which is a month-long program. It is available to a researcher or a clinician at every level, even from master's to all the way to, but essentially it's an early career fellowship. The very first one started in 2016, and it is not surprised that the very first recipient came from India, Dr. Shalja Tibriwal. She's here. Dr. Shalja continues to take bigger responsibilities. She's the one who coordinated last week's All India Symposium for GEGC. So now we have expanded because of success of this, what these people are doing, and we have trained people in 10 countries, many countries actually. But now we have 5 fellowships a year. And this is all going from my department, my budget. So it's really very exciting to me that these people come in. Everything is paid for from the moment you leave your home. And Dr. Lalit Verma wanted me to emphasize that, and say, no, get into the details of it. So from the moment you leave your home, your Uber picks you up or your taxi picks you up until you come back home. Everything is all paid for. So please make sure, and this is a worldwide competition now for the LMICs. Second fellowship is just brand new, which we started, we just had working with the ICO, and guess what? The very first recipient in the worldwide competition is also from India, Dr. Mayank Bansal, who is sitting right here. He is from Gurgaon, amazingly, right? Isn't it? That you work in Gurgaon, and he just happens to be. So he is the recipient, and please stand up. Dr. Shalja Tibriwal and Dr. Mayank Bansal. So amazing, isn't it? But I'm not surprised because, and folks, yes, sure, I'm from India, but I had nothing to do with their selection. I can openly tell you. No, this is they won in their worldwide competition. They came through the screening process, and then yes, I was a member of the interview panel, but they're most meritorious and worthy people, and I can predict that they have already played a role. Shalja has already worked very hard, but these two will continue to play some very important role right here at this meeting. Okay, Dr. Mayank and I were just talking about what he's not there yet at NEI, but I already gave him an assignment for the AIOS meeting in Calcutta. So Namrataji, he will talk to you about. Okay, he'll share his experience and inspire more people. So we can think of such a session like that. Okay, so that's that, and in addition, there are other programs, but I think the highlight is that this is International Genomics Fellowship. Please make sure. And Dr. Sundaresan is here as well, so from Arvind, who has also been a pioneer in our GEGC journey. He was trained at National Eye Institute of also, and has continued to play a very important role as a researcher. So I'm going to move to next. iGene program, which is a genomics medicine initiative you can take a look at. This is also a US-based program, public-private partnership. 6,500 participants. Essentially, as you can see, everything, a very translational medicine program from patient, from bed to bedside and bedside to bench. That's basically the summary, the bottom line. And you can see that this program has existed for quite some time, and the founder, co-founder, leader of this program is Dr. Santa Tumminia, who is now the acting director of NEI. She was supposed to have been here, but she had to cancel at the last minute, so I'm actually officially representing her and speaking on her behalf, and therefore these slides come from her. As you can see, the centers, we have essentially mapped the entire United States, all these patient population, working with them, all phenotype, genotype, all information, and for the last 15 years. So we are translating all that into GGC on a global scale. So we have had a track record working at iGene in the US, and a lot of that information, and she is also a co-founder of GEGC and works with us at every level, down to the weeds, actually. So with that, I would like to conclude my presentation here. I always like to say, and end with this slide, the Global Eye Research is a global effort. We all are in it together. So good eye research anywhere is good eye research everywhere. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, we are interested in that, and we are happy to share all our information as a very transparent science. But we stand for very high quality ethical science, which is the merit-based science and idea-generated science. So I'm open. I have to run to another session, which is related to the Indo-US program, and some of you have questions related, very specific thing. So I'm going to be at Hall Q, I believe, right, Dr. Shweta? Hall Q, so please feel free to join about 1 o'clock, 12:50, right? And so we'll do a one-on-one session. I'm just going to sit there. So is it okay, Dr. Schultz, if they have any question, you could ask me?
Fantastic. Any questions now? Any questions? This is your opportunity to find out if you have any personal questions about the fellowships that Dr. Prakash has discussed. Well, you can always reach him through his emails at Bethesda.
So the first one is an early career, which is a short 1-month fellowship, and the person gets trained with representatives, similar folks all around the world. Great opportunity, about 40 people come, but it's essentially an early stage. Master's candidate, a PhD candidate, somebody with a recent MD. It's very suitable, somebody like Dr. Shah, who just started a career. She was stayed there 4 years ago. And now just to create an interest. Second, the ICO fellowship for an established clinician who has really shown tremendous promise and on his or her way to really do great things in translational medicine. So, but we don't have any senior level.
Okay,
It's expanded.
all right, if you have any other questions,